Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mariner of Spirit. I'm Greg, I'm your host, and tonight we've got an extra special show. Uh, Two great guys I have the pleasure of knowing, and we will get to them in a minute as soon as I go ahead and go through a few things that, every show I talk about the people I support and we talk about PKC Paranormal Kicks Cancer, and that's Chris Goskowski and Alex Wilkinson, and they're from down in Florida, and they do benefits every year in paranormal benefits, and the money they raise it all goes to cancer research. And the second one is the Jessica Petrie Foundation, and that's a resource for expecting mothers and families of pregnant women with mental illness. And that's Howard Petrie, that we all know, that's from one of the neighboring networks. And Howard's been a great guy, and he's done a tremendous job with what he's doing for his daughter who passed, and that's important too. The other one is Tim Miley, and that's Potographs. And I don't know if Tim's going to keep on going on. I understand I'm hearing different stories, so I'm going to have to get a hold of him this week and find out for sure. But anyway, Potographs started out when he lost his pup and decided he was going to go ahead and try to come up with something compared to the dire situation he was in because of losing his pup. So he went ahead and had some pictures of himself and the pup, and he had copies made and went to a Paracon and started selling them and put all the money for shelters, animal shelters, etc. And that's how he started it out. And he may be at the end of his reigns with that charity too. But anyway, the ones I mentioned, and the only other thing I want to mention is that some of the authors I think I support, and I think you guys should look them up. The first one would be Bruce Holliday. Secondly is Ron Iacovetti. Then we got Lynn Monet, Rebecca Foster, Dr. Rebecca Foster. We have Rex Nielsen, who does a lot of great artwork, Todd Bates, and Dr. Heather Lee Langdon. So if you get the opportunity, on Amazon, check them out. And if you get the opportunity to grab one, get a book. So without further ado, because these guys are on a time schedule, and I know Austin looks like he's creating some wild things, but first of all, I'm going to bring the wizard on.
Hello.
That's Mr. K.D. Stafford.
From the Arctic, Missouri.
Why are you outside? Isn't it cold out there?
Well, yes, it is, Greg. It is cold out here. It's not raining, thank God. Yes, it's Missouri, so there you go.
You got your
back to you, Greg.
Okay, I was just going to say I was wondering if it was sleeting. You're celebrating your anniversary, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So yes. I want to say happy anniversary to you. That's awesome, and I know you're in a hurry to go ahead and run into your lovely wife. I'm sure.
Maybe something like that. Yeah.
That was a wrong way to put it.
But I left out the best part. Well, not the best part. Obviously, Katie's the best part. But we're spending our anniversary at the haunted Belvoir Winery in Liberty, Missouri. So I surprised her with a room.
Can't pick a better place out than that.
Hey, isn't that the old Oddfellows Asylum or something?
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
That's a badass place.
That's a really great place. And then, of course, we have Austin Menard And of course, KD is the founder of Supernatural Inc. And then Austin Maynard.
Oh, there you go. Good job. See,
Maynard.
We're sitting there
He's got
like-
a tool.
professional.
He's got a tool in his hand. He's going to poke me in the eye with it. And Austin's got the Underground Paranormal Network, so he does a lot of great research. And now KD's on with the Ghost of series that have been on the TV.
Is that the new one?
Ooh. Ah,
Is that the new one?
yeah, the new Microcom.
Nice.
There you go. So you're going to go ahead and do a live spirit box session as we're doing this, right?
I'm gonna attempt to. I'm gonna have to take these earbuds out, and then I'll have to go to the speaker side. I don't know how good y'all are gonna be able to hear it, but we're gonna give it our best effort.
We're going to try. That's
Yeah.
for sure. But I know that I am.
And I'm gonna
very,
freeze my ass off the whole time. I'm doing
I
this
am-
for y'all, for you, Greg. You remember this?
I am very grateful that you're both on here at the same time. That's for sure. And I know that you've got a lot of quality equipment, KD, and from the Nanocoms all the way up to the good old Inkbox S, and I'll just show that. And I'm going to do the same thing with Austin, but Austin's going to have to hold them up when we get
Plug
to
it.
his.
Plug it, Austin.
Plug it. Okay, and then Austin, Underground Paranormal Network. Do you have anything brand new that you're just breaking out with? So we can get this out of the way before we get into the
hurry up.
A, B,
God's
C, D
sake.
questions.
Spit it
No.
out.
KD
I'm
doesn't.
I'm working on a couple of cool things, but things I'm not going to show you because
Oh.
you guys aren't, especially because KD's on here. He's not good enough to.
I'll copy him.
God,
I'll copy.
He'll copy me, and
I will. I'll copy him in a heartbeat. I'll be like, look at what I did.
So since KD's been with a lot of great people on his series that he had on the ghost stuff,
Yeah.
and I know, Austin, that you're involved with a certain gentleman right now that's doing some great things. He's always been the mainstay of that group as far as I'm concerned, back in the day when he was with it. And I'm not going to mention the name of the group,
Sorry.
but
Damn it.
you're talking about Nick
Sorry.
and Ghost
That's
Adventures.
yeah. So if you talk about Mr. Groth, and I'm probably mispronouncing his name too tonight.
Groff.
Groff. Okay, so what's one thing that you went ahead and made for that series? Did you come up with anything special that everybody would love to see or not?
I mean, I came up with several different things, but like nothing that I have like sitting right next to me. I'd have to like go out to my garage and grab
What's your
some
best
stuff.
experiment you did on the show, Austin? How about that?
Yeah, that's
What's your
better.
favorite? What's your favorite? Not the best. What's your favorite?
Ooh,
Thanks, Katie.
that's a good one. Well, because I like when I'm on the show, like I don't typically build my own shit. Like I do for some things, but like I'll use a lot of KD's stuff. I'll use a lot of JW's stuff, and so like I think I'll mix and match a lot of shit too.
He's talking about Jay Prather when he says
Jay
JW.
Prather,
By the
yeah.
way,
JW Prather, yes,
just so
IDC
everybody
Devices.
knows.
He's
Got to represent Jay.
He's a gentleman that I haven't had the pleasure to meet yet.
Well,
Jay's
I think one of the cooler things that I think we did was when I actually ran shoot, man, we did a bunch of cool stuff, but I think one of the cooler things was when we used the helmet in conjunction with the like the ghost helmet that guy built.
That guy.
That guy.
Yeah.
But then I remember, shoot, I think I'm trying to like I'm trying to like not because we haven't released everything yet.
Okay.
So like,
okay. So
I can't give too much away.
Okay. Well,
Right.
out of the episodes that you've done
I could
or
just
that have
sit
been
back and
released,
watch.
right? That are available to watch. Like,
Oh,
what's
currently
your
available.
favorite? Yeah. Like, what's
Oh,
we don't
okay.
expect
Season
you to reveal
3.
no secrets. I know how that goes, man. I
Season
know what's
3.
up.
Season 3. The last episode, the Tesla building. That was a really cool experiment. Although I wish we would have did it earlier in the night. But
Yeah, I wish you would have
you know
talked
how.
about that last night while we were doing our podcast. That would have been very pertinent to the conversation. You didn't even bring it up. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
In
Good job.
hindsight, I should have. I don't. But I
Good
don't
job, bud.
think about like the show necessarily all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
thanks.
I don't.
So what's both of your thoughts when it comes to Tesla? Let me say that.
Oh, we had a good conversation. Well, we
And
we dipped our toes into a good conversation about that last night.
Yeah.
I know
I
how
say
I
I
feel.
say I'm gonna reference the podcast. If you watch the podcast from last night,
Yeah.
that's our
But
whole.
basically, but to sum it all up, like Tesla was the guy, right? He was the first guy to ever.
He was the man.
He was the first guy to ever hear radio waves with, and at a time where there were no man-made transmissions. So, I saw outside of, the sparse electrical devices that there were, light bulbs, street lights. There was a lot of DC power. But in my opinion, I don't think that's what he was hearing. A lot of people think it was uh, something like I guess the easy way to put it would be like the
Interdimensional.
reflection of radio waves off of the Earth, like bouncing off of the moon, and then
And
he
coming
was
back.
like intercepting them with his radio, and it sounded, he perceived it to be similar to human voices. That's the only that's the most grounded explanation, I guess. But even that doesn't really make sense. I mean, but that's about the best you can come up with to
You
explain
said
that. That doesn't even work.
univoices. Is that what you said? Univoices?
Human
Voices.
human voices.
Get my headphones on all the way.
Human.
Human.
It sounds like that South Park episode.
Right. I'm not your buddy, guy. I'm your pal, friend.
I'm not your guy, friend.
What are we gonna go ahead and do when it comes to Christmas? Are you guys gonna go ahead and get together and have a big sales show, or what are you gonna do?
I don't want to spend my.
What kind of show are we doing?
You have a big sale every year, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm trying to. See, the hard thing is to keep up with like sales and then to produce a surplus to sell like that. At one time, it was easier for me to do it, just because there was way less people buying things. But nowadays, it's a little bit more difficult I'm just one man. I'm just one dude. I'm a dude. I'm one dude.
One dude.
And I can only do what I can do.
I'm
trying though. I am
trying.
To get a little stock built up and have a little Christmas sale. But
yeah, it's hard.
It's probably
He's right.
not going to be like you've hit. Like if you don't order something this week, you're not going to get it before Christmas.
Well, if everybody,
it's really difficult to build stock, especially like
so
when you
anybody out there, if you want something for me or Austin, like for a Christmas present, like you better message us like this week.
I mean, you have
And
to. It's a Christmas present to somebody else.
Nothing more than to do that, but you gotta let us know now because that's cut off close.
Yeah, that's. I know it's extremely hard to go ahead and do it, especially with Austin burning his fingers up right there right now.
Shoot, I almost cut my finger
saw a bunch
off.
of smoke.
That put
smoke
a
coming
dent in me. Yeah. Take
The
care.
work
of your
don't
hands,
stop.
man. Dude,
The work don't stop.
Yeah. No, I kept going, but it was rough.
And you had you really cut yourself pretty good.
Yeah, my finger's jacked. I have to go to a hand specialist.
Yeah, this fucking dude.
And I'm gonna have to have they're gonna have to reattach some stuff inside of there.
You go ahead and get the tendons going again.
Yep.
It's horrible that I laugh at that.
In the way right now. You shut your mouth. Shut your filthy mouth.
You
He
I
know,
can't
sends me
wait.
this
I can't. I'm gonna
picture.
make fun. You know what? I can't wait to make fun of you one
So
day
this is
for
funny
your
because like I
ailment.
just get this picture out of nowhere. Like one day, I just get this picture of Katie's. Like he's got his
Where I got severed
two.
my finger.
Yeah, he's got like his fingers all bandaged up. He just sends that to me, and then he says
looking
something like, "I sliced my
looking like a
fingers."
damn ninja turtle.
And but so he sliced his fingers, bandaged them up, but and you sliced down to like the bone, right?
Oh yeah, it's deep.
oh,
It's
So
in
like
there.
he all he did was bandage them up, and then like he looked like
Nah, bro.
yeah.
I did some combat life saving shit. You know.
Yep. So
Uh,
if screw the doctors, screw stitches, screw all that. I'm
hey,
just gonna
gotta
it
bandage
didn't
it
fall
up, rub
off.
some dirt on it,
It's still
gotta,
rub some
here. It
dirt in
didn't
it.
fall
You'll
off.
be good.
gotta put a tourniquet around your neck
Yep.
Right. That's
and
what I
tighten
did
it down.
immediately. I immediately tourniqueted my neck and tightened it down until everything went black.
That's funny.
There's an interesting response that's on here from, you know who Phil Wyatt is,
Yes.
and he's a great investigator from down in Georgia, and he says, could it
Georgia,
have
that's my
been the
neck of the woods. I'm from South Carolina.
he says, could it have been the Schumann resonance? Spirits may use that frequency to form words.
Sure, I think they
That's
use
funny that you said
a
that.
lot of I think that's part of an important sequence, or not sequence, but like I guess you'd say a spectrum of frequencies that in my opinion, are kind of carrier waves, you know. But it's weird. It's strange how it works still. So yeah, I could say that those frequencies are important, but I can't say how you know.
I think
Some people, it's kind of like the Tao hum, right? Like some people feel it and some people don't, right? So like some people are going to like pick up on those frequencies that are being left by paranormal entities, and then some people won't even be affected by it at all. But then but I definitely think the Schumann frequency, you know, the Earth's natural kind of hum, right?
Right.
And you know, there's something in the 60 hertz also. I think just from my work, um, you know, historically, you can look back and you can find instances of where people, legitimate ITC researchers, have used electronics in the background, um, while they record for EVPs. And you know, I don't know if they're thinking about this specifically, but if you have an air conditioner on, which is popular, or a fan, something like that, you're hearing
Right.
60 hertz. That's the frequency. That's so if you pick up EVPs, dude, I keep feeling like somebody's standing right behind me, man. This is creepy, and I can't hear. I can only hear out of one ear, so it's like creeping me out. Katie's over there in the car. I'm getting scared. I might call her over here in a minute.
Well,
Protect me.
what's really pretty interesting is there's a lady in the chat by the name of Catherine Knox that says, "KD, could you change to regular light?" And I'm sort of thinking maybe not, because
That's
then
Katie.
that's maybe you'll get bit by mosquitoes.
is that Katie?
That the regular light's flickery. It doesn't work right. Yeah, this is
Is
Katie's
that who?
janky
Is
ass
that Katie?
flashlight. It's
Yeah, that's
Is
Katie.
that
Katie. That's
Yeah,
Catherine
Catherine Knox.
Knox?
yeah. I was like Catherine Knox.
That's Katie.
I might be related
That's
to
her alias. They
them.
all have alias names. It's
Well,
just like it's
Knox would be my real like
Your birth name.
paternal family name. My
right.
Right.
dad's
Yeah.
side of the family. So
So with everything that's
we're
going on,
Scottish.
now, it's going to be a big year next year for both of you.
Man, you know what? I I'm just taking it day by day, dude. Like I don't even know. I don't plan on doing, at least to my knowledge, I don't have anything lined up TV wise or any of that. So that's kind of good for me though, because I'll get to work on some stuff, actually do some like real work. It's hard to do that when you're filming and stuff, or you know, even just like promoting. trying to promote that thing that you spent so much time on, especially something like, Ghost of. Now, I'd be happy to do another season. Don't get me wrong, and I always say that I'm blessed for having to had the opportunity to do what I've done, and but if I didn't get to do another season, it's not the end of my world. My work was going on anyway, and it will continue. So it's a big year. We got a lot of events. We're doing a lot of cool stuff for a lot of historical places. We're going to try to do the thing in South Carolina again. Austin, I know you actually have TV work lined up with Nick.
Yeah,
So there you go.
I don't know when that's happening yet. Because you know how it goes. They let you know
I mean,
like
it is what
2
it
weeks
is.
ahead of time.
Yeah, they tell you last minute.
Yeah, but I know
It's
that
about standard, par for the course.
I know we got I got a project in the works with JW and um Mike and Chris from the Wraith Chasers. His JW's call on that one, but
Yeah,
we
that's
got
fine, man.
something.
I'm out here. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. I'm just gonna do stuff. You know what? I don't even need Austin or nobody else. I'm just gonna do shit by myself. Me and Katie out here in Missouri gonna do some shit on our own. That's
I
fine.
told you to come
I
out
don't
to
even need
Ohio,
bands.
bro.
No, 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 no. It's fine. You're
You're
doing
Brett.
good, bud.
You're Brett.
And Katie's acting like the James boys.
But yeah, no, we got
there.
a few things. We got a few things going in 2024. I mean, I know that we're working on some locations. We're working on like I don't do the big time events anymore, just because like I don't know that it was a lot more work than it was worth, and I wasn't bringing enough to the locations themselves, and I just felt like if I'm just it's not enough. It's just not worth it in my opinion. So I just stopped doing them. So now I don't really do a whole lot of events unless I get invited out to them or I have to do what with this guy. But yeah,
Oh, you
2024.
act
It's
like
always
I
busy,
drag you
man.
out here all the time.
You would
You
enjoy
do.
you enjoy working together, don't you guys?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
me and Austin. Yeah, we love working together.
We're like best friends, man. Like we
Yeah, man.
just enjoy. Like it doesn't matter. We could go like 6 months and not say a word to each other, and then like we talk on the phone. It's as if we talked yesterday.
Yeah, you're right back where you were left off. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's supposed to be.
There is a
We're on a
window
very
inside
similar
of my
wavelength.
window.
So
Oh, that's your logo. Is that a logo? What is that in the window up there? Is Brandon running this?
yeah,
Tell him to get that daggone whatever. That ain't a logo.
No,
it's
that's
the
like the
background. It looks like
that was.
Yeah, it's like another mini background over my face, and I don't like it, Brandon.
No, it's not a mini. It's not over your face.
What is it?
It's over in the corner.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I'm just kidding.
Actually, it's
I was just giving you a hard time. I'm just giving Brandon a hard time, dude. That's what
Poor Brandon.
Yeah, we did that a bunch yesterday too. So
yeah, Brandon's got it made, dude.
He needs to.
Don't
He needs it. He deserves it every now and then.
He needs a little dose of humility. You see that? The spirit's talking to me, man. Through my flashlight.
Brandon.
Greg Myers would make fun of me right now.
No.
But that shit works though. I've had it work. So, say what you want about flashlights.
So anyway, out of the locations you both have been,
mm-hmm.
KD first. What was your best location?
This year?
No, over the series of Ghosts of.
Oh, in the show, Ghost. Like the whole favorite place out of all of them would probably be.
Well, you were stuck in one area though.
The Dumas brothel was pretty dope. Yeah, but see, we weren't stuck in one area. We got to dig in, like you should. Like I feel like you really should, if you really want. Now you can go witness a haunting, right? It's easy to go somewhere and just witness a haunting and capture pictures, and I mean it's not easy, but you can go do that, right? But like
anybody can do that.
If that's what you're after, that's cool. But like I thought it was cool that we were actually trying to get down to the bottom of things that were going on in town. And
Nitty
it
gritty.
takes more than one, investigation
Right.
to do so, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's
So
more
you-
about
Um,
just that house. It's not like ghosts is grounded to their bedrooms, right? Like there's ties throughout the whole. It's like veins that run, especially these mining towns.
So the Dumas was in a mining town, correct?
Yeah,
And what was the name of the mining town?
that was Butte, Montana.
Okay.
Yeah. But see, it's mining towns are like a standard for me, man. I don't know. It's like I don't seek them out. I mean, I find them super cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm kind of getting to be a little bit of an expert on them, but like they seem to find me. Like just weird out of nowhere things lead to me and ended up going to these mining towns like Virginia City. That was just completely out of left field, and the guy who said it all is like mind blowing, right? Like it was
Oh,
the
that's
whole
gotta
thing
be
was like
cool.
a brain trip. That anyway,
That's
yeah,
really, really
mining towns,
interesting.
bro. That's what's up.
So you said
um,
you mentioned mining towns before we get to Austin. Have you ever thought of going ahead and exploring like some of those lava tubes?
Oh well, yeah, man. I would love to do some stuff like that. But yeah, all that stuff's expensive, man. Like you're talking about gear, you're talking about guides, you're talking if you want to do it right, like
You know, you
safe.
want to get out. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to do it correctly, that's a lot of money, man. I'm all self-funded, dude. Like, everything, what little we put out is all just funded by us, and what little bit we make, we put right back into what we do.
I was
But yeah,
just looking
that's an
to see.
expensive fee. I would love to do a lot of things like that. I would love to set up some big, huge ass experiments in some of these places all over, the world that are claimed to be paranormal portal hotspots or intersections of ley lines. And I would love to do all this stuff. If I had Elon money, I would.
Well, you had a lot of good camera crews with you over the years. They've done a lot of great picture work. So everybody that's watched the shows has had an opportunity to
Mhm.
to see the locations.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
which
Well,
I think are vital
yeah.
importance.
Oh
You
yeah, it
know,
is. That's the only way they're gonna stay alive. So.
right? So then Austin with Nick has been in some places that are pretty cool too. I mean, they're right up there. But most of his are on the East Coast, right?
mhm. Yeah. So like really I started in season 3, and so like like halfway through season 3, and I think I did 3 or 4 locations with them. But season 4, which is yet to be released, I'm on 11 out of the 20 episodes. And so the places that I went,
That's
some of
my
them were
boy.
actually over.
That's my boy right there.
Some of
Proud
the
of that
some of the
boy.
locations, probably like yeah, actually 4 of them were over here in Ohio. But the others were, yeah, over in New York actually. But I remember one that we did this season. I would say that's probably one of the cooler ones, is a place called Sweet Home Estate in shit, I can't remember what the hell the town's name is. It's near Letchworth Village,
Oh
in New
yeah,
York.
that place. Oh, totally.
Yeah,
I
it's
know
right
what you're
near
talking about.
Letchworth State Park or
I
whatever.
don't know
So,
where that
um,
is.
Letchworth Village used to be like a veterans, or it's like some. I think I want to say it was almost like an Oddfellows like old folks home or something. Like it was something that was
I've been to New
funded by the
York,
Oddfellows
but
or something.
There's a lot of
But
comparison between Oddfellows and the VA period. If you really
yeah,
look into it, there's a lot of
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean, there wasn't a
strange.
VA at the time, so you had your Oddfellows and the
Yeah,
Masons and your
mm,
all your fraternal brotherhoods. They kind of
Yeah.
took care of the people who didn't have as much as it. Katie.
So
But
locations for you.
Hi, Austin. Greg.
But yeah,
Okay.
they picked up the slack for people
Hey,
who
Katie.
didn't have like that they couldn't afford a burial plot, right? So the odd or the the Oddfellows or the yeah, it was the Oddfellows. They would buy a big piece of land and make it a community was cemetery. Cemetery, is that correct? Yeah, graveyard
yeah,
attached to the church.
yeah.
So they'd
Bring
have
up
like a
bringing the boys.
But the Sweet Home Estate was really cool. I just wanted to say that the Sweet Home Estate was really
yeah.
cool just because of the
Yeah.
history of the land right there. The
Is
house
it
itself
military
is
background?
almost.
Is it like a
Mm-mm.
military thing? No? No? Okay.
I mean,
That's
there may
great.
have been. I guess I think there might have been a an officer in the army or the military of some sort back in like the almost like what was. I mean, it was built early 1800s. Like it's almost 200 years old. But the
Wow.
thing that was
Wow.
really cool about the place was not just the history of the house and the land, like everything that this dude that owns it, his name is Ed Bowden. Cool guy,
Sounds
real cool guy.
familiar.
Yeah, I mean he's out there in the field a lot. Or he's on Facebook in the community and everything. But he I mean he's got a massive collection of like haunted dolls or whatever. And he's
Oh,
got a
cool.
bunch of mirrors, like literally planted all over the house, and many of them being scrying mirrors. But
Yeah.
he also has a closet that's full of like supposed used occult items that he somehow acquires. I'm not really sure, but like I think it's cool because he's got like it's basically like he's adding all of these haunted objects onto this already haunted piece of land. And I don't know. That episode was really freaking cool, especially because he let us take one of the haunted dolls out of the occult room, which he never fucking does. He doesn't let anybody take anything out of there, but he let me take it out for one of the experiments we did, which was using lasers and the Rochester cloaking experiment. It was pretty cool.
Rochester
Sounds
clothing
awesome.
experiment. You can't
Yeah.
You can't say anything about that, right?
Well, that's
I
an
can't.
in-depth thing. It's gonna take a minute for him to explain it, but go ahead.
No, so KD, I actually got this idea from Doug.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The edge
Yeah,
of the edge of
the
edge of
cloaking lens. Yeah,
refraction
the
of the light.
fringe.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yep, the fringe. But I didn't
I
use them
know.
in that way,
It's an in-depth
unfortunately.
thing. That's why I was just telling Greg. It's like it's a very kind of deep, like rabbit hole type thing. But basically, it
Yep.
has to do with you're trying to capture an image out of the edge of the refraction of a convex mirror or a convex lens.
Okay.
It's
Is it
weird the
convex or
way that it
concave?
works. I mean, it is
But
the way
that's the essential. That's what we're talking about.
yeah.
Just so you have
And
the
so
background.
like what I wanted to do was make those lenses like because you have to place them so far apart. And when you get them, I put them on servo motors, so they just kind of spin back and forth. And my whole thought was like, if you were to able to peer through it and they were spinning fast enough, and I got to get better brackets and better. I want to get
I got you.
I
You
want
don't
to.
even have to do that. The technology is there already, dude. I got you. You
All
only
right,
have to build it. They
we'll
make
talk.
like
We'll talk.
professional. We'll talk. We'll talk about it later. I got
Okay.
you.
All right.
Without going
PGG.
any farther
PGG.
into it, though, you're pretty much saying the same thing as how they essentially started out with pictures moving, and they had them on those old. No,
Eh,
No, not
no, it's
really.
more or less like
Think of looking
bending.
through. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
It's almost like they're like the bending of light is really like what it's all about. Like when you have those lenses, it's all really just the whole cloaking thing is just when you put your finger down the middle between the middle two lenses, like the light bends and so it disappears and you'll still see what's all the way across through the lenses, but you won't see your finger like come down in front of it.
Yeah, it's a optical
But
illusion caused by
Doug
the lights in the
William
convex.
Pemblatt was really like interested in like, you know, if you do this around the fringe, it's where the light is bent. It's almost like like when you look into space, you see gravitational lensing, right? Where like the
A
light
black
kind of
hole.
skews.
You're
Yeah,
talking
in a
about
black hole
black hole, yeah.
specifically is a good, yeah. But so like my thought was, and I had even talked to him about this, was, well, if we make it spin, like if we take those lenses and we have them spinning, then you're looking at the fringe from all four lenses all at once. And so I
Actually,
was
I'm
curious to
sorry.
see.
Let me correct myself. Like you can see you can see the bending of the light around object that has enough mass in space. So that's my
Yeah,
black holes. Like we just kind of really found one recently, but we knew they were there. But anyway, I just wanted to correct myself on that.
yeah, but no, it's but like the way that light bends. I mean, his whole I thought was, can they, if if the light is bent, like could they show themselves or somehow make it? Is there something within that fringe? I guess was the whole thing that he was looking at.
Yeah,
And
and
so
see, it's yeah,
I thought it would be
interesting.
cool to have it
No,
on. I need to put them on bearings. That's what I
it
need to
is
do.
cool,
Fuck.
and it's that's even beyond just ghosts and stuff, right?
Hmm.
Like because like then you're talking about, are you looking at the multiverse? Are you looking at like the mirror universe, like a mirror universe, or something of that
That's a big
nature?
one. And like part of the
That's
experiment that I
like
use.
if you think about all these cool, interesting like experiments people have done, like like the Kardashev mirror, that work, which may or may not be a real thing, but this they have the documentation, it was released recently. Guy ended up in a
Hmm.
gulag because he came up with it, during the Soviet Union era, and
Hmm.
for whatever reason, he ended up in a gulag in Siberia, and yeah, pretty much died penniless. But they tried to. That's an interesting rabbit hole. Everybody that's watching should check out. Is Kardashev mirrors? I think it's Kardashev.
And does it start with a K?
It does. Yes. If you just start typing Kardashev, it'll come up. But it's basically, and he's not the first guy to have this
Idea.
idea. If you actually, was Nostradamus had a similar device that he would quote unquote meditate in, and that's where he would see a lot of his visions, and it was like an egg. It was described like a metallic egg that he would
Wow.
sit inside of. But
Hmm.
yeah, all this stuff with bending light, and because light is just another part. Light is the easiest part of the electromagnetic spectrum for us to perceive. So it's the most interesting, and it's the most, like, when we see something, we're more likely to believe it, right? So in my opinion, the visual stuff has always been super cool. As much as I do love, ghost radio phenomenon, and ghost boxes and stuff like that.
Staple, man.
Yeah, that lens addict, I guess, is a word. Anything to do with the way light is directed through materials. And because it spreads out into so many different theories, like the stone tape theory, and everything kind
Hmm.
of comes together with that, right? Like quartz crystal, can it record things? And
Hmm.
could we kind of is there a frequency of light, that we could somehow project through that, and get a response, or get some sort of playback, for just a lack of better words, lack of a better way to put it, of
Well,
something that happened that was recorded. So
you
light
turned me on to
light's a big
the
deal.
idea of the laser audio transmission.
Yeah,
Like I
that's
love laser
another.
audio transmission. I feel like
It's
mixing
cool.
the two together
It's
is
cool,
like
and
big.
yeah, and it's just, when it comes down to it, it's as tedious as recording for EVP. It's equal. It's equally tedious.
Hmm.
It's not like you turn it on and oh my God, the results are amazing. no, it's still long and tedious, and time consuming to get something good from it. But when you do get something good from it, you know that it was because of that light audio transmission process. So
I
Mhm.
that gives kind of credence to me that spirit's going to interact with um, the light end of the spectrum as well.
the the thing that I still am involved with, of course, is with the spirit box and basically a lot of the Estes
Yeah,
method. And one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to go ahead and pretty much set up 4 different crews, okay, across the country that were all going to be involved at the same time, but I couldn't differentiate or keep the voices. I figured that the more we had, the more amplification you would have with catching spirit. I mean, just by the amount of boxes that you had
right.
going. So,
Um, yeah,
but I couldn't differentiate between on the wording. So whatever somebody was making a response, and you had so many of those, and I was trying to figure out how to go ahead and have direct wire so that whatever that person was saying would be on a separate track compared to the big ones that were all together.
right. I think that's a good idea for an experiment. But in my opinion, like when you have a ghost box session, right? It's more of a interactive thing. It's not, in my experience, it doesn't work. Like I could turn 5 boxes on in a room. It's not like fishing. Throw out more lines, you catch more fish.
Okay.
It's more of a focus on a thing, right? And it's an intent thing also, right?
Everybody
And
has to have the same intention.
well, and if
The
you're doing it
user
like that,
specifically,
but
though.
then you're kind of getting it. Well, I mean, just in my opinion, you're getting more into a mass conscious experiment at that point, and a mass conscious and mass intention, power of intention type of experiment.
You're using everybody in the comments section like I do, with the show now is, we set the intention at the beginning of the show to have everybody in the comments section
I
to
think that's cool. I think that's cool. That's cool. The work you guys are doing. You could obviously tell that the way I do things is very different from
well,
the way a lot of people do things. But
that's what
I
every
appreciate the way y'all are doing.
I
I
just I
appreciate the
just
work y'all
want
are
I
doing.
just want to pick your brains more than I've ever had before now because I have all these different thoughts going on. But it's
Well, Greg, I
Fire
want to
away,
say
man.
something. I want to say something, Greg.
I got 11% left on my phone, so
he's going to say something about the army, isn't he?
No,
swear to God, swear to God.
You can't do the emails.
I know he won't do the emails. I don't know. But Greg, I'm surprised that you haven't reached out to me about a direct link or one of JW's boxes
man.
because like his actually have jacks for like SD sessions and like multiple jacks for certain things. Like one thing with the one with echo and reverb, it has like 2 headphone jacks. Like one that will cut out the speaker, the other one still runs. It's also got a pre effects in and out and a post effects in and out. So like one thing you could do a double SD session and record both before the echo and reverb and after the echo and reverb. And like the whole point behind that is to be able to see if there's manipulation happening at any point within the audio. So like one thing that we've found, and that doesn't necessarily like prove anything, but one thing that we found is that like there have been times that we've discovered voices that come through that don't have echo and reverb. And like Katie can vouch for this the same way. Like there's no skipping steps in circuitry. Like you can't do that.
Okay.
Like it follows the path of the audio, or if the audio follows the path of the wires is what I'm. But so like when you have anomalies like that, it's interesting when you can record it from before and after the echo and reverb board, so you can see like if there was really a difference or if something, you know what I mean? So that's the kind of stuff, like that's what the
Neat box
direct
deck.
link is all about. And I mean, the direct link also is about intention. Like KD said, intention is a big part, and it's user intention more than anything. Like the user has to have the intention to make that contact. I mean, that's why a lot of old school.
Yeah. It's that
That's why a
personal
lot of those old
experience.
school ITC heads, man, they all have a technician or an operator on the other
They got a
side, because it's
method.
like literally trying to make that connection with that. And
Well,
I have one that I use to control the chaos, is what a lot of people say.
you see, I've been so damn busy this last year because I just don't do 2 shows. I do 4 shows a week.
Maybe you should
Damn.
just do one big one
And I don't, KD, I don't know anymore.
and then
but
break it up into little pieces and put.
they're not all on the same topic though.
That's fine.
Because this would be my mainstay, would be my show on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That used to be the Metaphysical Crossing, but now it's One Spirit Connect.
Yeah. Well, you're doing good, man. So keep up.
Well,
do your thing. Do it however you.
I just wish I had time to go ahead and contact both you guys. I know you're both really busy, and sometimes it's like, yeah, you're not going to want to talk to me anyway. So
I don't want to talk to you. Greg.
See how Austin did that. That was a telltale sign right there.
I'm thinking the same.
It's just funny that you said it like
that's what
that.
everybody thinks. But
Well, I'm one of those army guys like KD is. I just
No, I don't. I was laughing because it's just funny the way that you said that. It was just funny. I mean, yeah, and honestly, like it just sucks because like I get anxiety even thinking about opening my messaging app anymore.
Me too, man. Me too.
Like I know you do.
Dude,
you've been
I'm
at
not
it.
saying I have more than you, because you got people.
You've been doing it a lot longer than I have, and so you've dealt with it a lot longer. And like I'm just like, I don't know anymore. At least like I can't. I'll let my phone sit for like an hour or two, and I'll open up my phone. I got like 5 messages from like, a bunch of different people.
5%, just so y'all know, I'm gonna go till my phone dies.
Well, we only have about 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, and you know what? Can we do this again?
Of course. Yeah, we'll have you on our show.
Together.
How about we have you on our show one day, Greg? How about that?
Oh, that would be nice.
Because we're doing a show now. We're gonna do it.
Yeah, what do we call it? The generic paranormal podcast or something. Yeah, that's it. Generic paranormal show.
Or show, or whatever the hell you want to call it.
But before we go any further, I just want to go ahead and mention everybody that's in the chat, please, and just mention their names, because that's pretty.
I can't see the chat.
Okay, we got Danny Botts, Tara Simus.
Hold on, I think I can get it. No, see, I can't look at it on my phone. It won't let me.
Adriana Trudel, Catherine Knox. Of course, we know who that is.
Hello, Catherine Knox, and you said Adriana.
Who's that girl? Trudel. Who's Catherine?
Who's Catherine Knox anyway? Catherine. Hello, Adriana.
And then Catherine. We got Anne Marie Young.
Anne Marie, how are you?
We got Tara Simus again.
Who?
Tara Simus.
Oh, Tara. Hello, Tara. I've seen Tara's name before.
Barbara Woodbury Spear. James Brady.
Barbara Woodbury.
Phil Wyatt. We all know him.
Yep. Phil.
Tim Lovejoy.
Tim Lovejoy, my man.
Okay. That's what I was thinking about that. Jim Feister.
Oh, Mr. Feister in the flesh. Hey, that's
Mr.
you want to talk
Pfister.
about old school right there, bro.
Legend.
Talk about OG.
Legend.
That's Mr.
Legend.
Feister in the flesh.
That was Frank Sumption's best friend. For those of y'all who don't know,
you need to have
that's
him
where
on the show,
that's where I knew the name from.
That's who you need to
Yeah,
have on the show
man.
right there. You don't want to be talking to us. You want to talk to that guy.
I would
Like
love
That guy right there
he's
is
probably got
he's a
some crazy stories
dude.
about Frank, like and just
Dude,
like the
Jim,
beginnings of Ghost Box movement,
just
right?
just Jim himself.
Oh,
He's
Jim,
a
yeah.
whole book of knowledge just in himself. Like
and
He,
I'm gonna throw it out there right now that if he has the opportunity, drop me a
yeah,
message
man. What's up,
and
Jim?
give
Love
me
you,
a
buddy.
link. That would be really fantastic. I try to work hard at everything I do on this, even though it doesn't sound like it half the time. But then we can continue.
Yeah, you
We'll
lazy
have,
bastard.
Anthony Slavos, Anthony,
What's up, Anthony?
Kim Brady,
Kim.
and Becky Evans.
Miss Becky Evans, one of my favorite people.
Yep.
I love Miss Becky.
We got
And
Chris
she
Carr.
loves me more than she loves Brandon. That's right, I said it, Brandon.
Okay.
You suck.
We got Chris Carr from Dark Horse Paranormal.
Chris.
Him and Kristen.
Yep.
We got
Kristen?
Danny Botts. Let's see.
Yep.
We're getting down towards the end, I think.
These are our people.
These are all real people. These are
our people. This
they're
is
our
all
people, yeah.
we are a tribe of people, of ghosty people.
And
I just gotta say, UGPN and Supernatural Inc. Paranormal Research and Development. We got some. The phone died. But we got some great people we got some great people, man. The people that follow us, the people that support us, like big shout out to all of you guys. All of you guys, we love you guys to death, and we couldn't do anything without the people that support us. So thank you. And I speak for him too.
Yep.
Because his phone died, but thank you.
Jim Feister just went ahead and said thank you for the kind words. Which is
we love Jim. So Jim is a great guy.
If you get the opportunity, just drop me a message if you could. You could drop it to Brandon, but Brandon has to use big letters. Of course, I'm not going to say anything because I don't even know how to copy and paste sometimes. So I forget it. I forget every 4 weeks. And then you got Steve Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about the extent of that. So we actually lost him, huh?
Yeah, he warned us as his phone was dying. He's just like, well, 11%. No, now I'm at 5.
So have you been down to Louisiana doing anything? Nick never goes up there, does he?
I don't know. I mean, he has in the past, I believe, like especially when he was on Ghost Adventures, but I don't think he has in a long time.
I thought I saw him and his wife.
Oh yeah, they were down in I think they were down in Florida or something. They went on vacation. They've gone to a number of tropical areas that seem to just have haunted locations nearby. They find them out somehow. They find them.
So he's the real deal.
Nick?
Yeah.
Real deal as in
a regular guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Nick is honest, and he's a real guy.
The only other one that I really liked from Ghost Adventures was Aaron.
Yeah, no, and Aaron is funny. I mean, I've never met Aaron or Zach or any of them. But I kind of gotta keep my loyalty where it needs to be, I guess. But Nick is one of the most genuine people you'd ever meet, and he's very. I mean, he's so down to earth, and he'll sit there and talk to you about. He'll sit there and bullshit with you for 20, 30 minutes if he can. It's kind of crazy. You wouldn't expect Nick to be so approachable, but he won't wait for you to approach. He'll approach you. And say, "Oh yeah, hey man, you want a picture? You want to,
I wanted to go ahead and talk to you a little bit more about the things that you're going to be doing this year too. We're pluck out a time. But that happens, and it's going to be really great if we could go ahead and get back together again. And
Yeah.
I just try to keep everything that I do simple. And you know what?
Absolutely.
It seems with the paranormal, sometimes that's not a bad thing. But when you have minds like you guys around you, well, it helps. It really does. It's like Tim Woolworth.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, Tim, a great guy too. He's a mentor in a lot of ways for me.
Yes. The first time I met him, I was awestruck.
Yeah,
I really was, and it was because of his knowledge. He could talk circles around anybody in the paranormal, especially when it comes to communication.
Yeah, and speaking of Tim, actually, I made an announcement on our podcast last night, but ITC Voices. Remember ITC Voices?
Yes.
So what happened with that was that Tim had transferred the rights of it over to me.
Right.
And for some reason, when he did that, he had to take the website down and back it up, put it in a backup file, and then he sent me the backup file. But apparently that file was in an old format, and so I couldn't re-upload it to make it a website again. So essentially we've had to build it from scratch. But I have handed the reins over to Matthew Jackson, a great researcher, and he knows what he's doing. He's been doing this a long time, and I'm hoping that we can get ITC Voices back to where it was before, and actually upgrade it, and keep new ITC news coming. I just didn't have the proper equipment, or which is a laptop, but I don't have the proper knowledge or time or any of that to do it. And I felt like I wasn't doing it enough justice. So I know that Tim, hopefully Tim will be happy about that.
Okay. It's been awesome having you on. I really appreciate your time and effort. I'm glad that you didn't burn your fingers up tonight. That's always
It happens though sometimes.
It's always a bonus. And here's to going ahead and getting back together. I think sooner than later.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And we'll go ahead and make it happen, and we'll keep in touch that way. And
for sure,
if we get together on your guys' show, that would be even better yet. And we could keep it running, because I need to stay current. I'm this last year, it was just too much, I think. But we've had a lot of good shows, a lot of neat things have happened, and so it's been worth it. And you go ahead and burn your fingers up a little more, unless you want to hang around, because I'm just going to send a couple more links out, and I'm going to hang around with some other people that were,
I am just chilling. So I'm just building, so I ain't got anything else to do. I can stay.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just and for those people that are going to just go ahead and say good night. It's been a pleasure having you on here, and if you get the opportunity, we'll see you next week. That's for sure. And stay warm. And I'll have to send a few out right now. So thanks again, Austin. I really appreciate it. And to the big KD, he's probably preoccupied right now, so we're not going to bother him.
His phone's dead anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Good night, everybody. And I'm just going to leave it like that, and I'm just going to go to StreamYard. I'll be right back in a second here.
Okay.
No, I don't even have to do that. All I have to do is this. first one's gone.
We're still live. Still live.
Oh, what's that? Oh. Okay, so we got the so this one that's coming up here is Anthony. I saw the message, Chris. Chris Carr isn't feeling well, so.
Wow, sorry to hear that. Feel better.
And I don't have any other emails here, but yes, I know. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna keep her going.
Okay.
So, anybody wants to hang around, you can hang around. You're still here. And then I added Anthony, and if I have to add a couple more people, he may add a one or two. Kim Brady's here too. I haven't seen her in a while. But that's interesting that you guys all know Feister.
Jim Pfister. Yeah.
Pfister?
Yeah, Pfister. Yeah, Jim is a great guy. And I mean, he genuinely, like, for the most part, he stays quiet. He just kind of watches in the background and, all that good stuff, which, I mean, he's very aware of most of what goes on in the field and in the community. And, but like, I think, he's at the point. I mean, this dude saw the very beginning of the ghost box movement. Like this guy was around when Frank invented the ghost box, and he was, always talking with Frank and everything. So, like, I imagine that guy has some crazy stories and like things that knowledge and information that he could pass on to the next generation here. I feel like, yeah, like he has a wealth of knowledge, and I mean, anybody that has been doing it as long as he has and been around it as long as he has, like within the community, like I mean, I feel like they are the mentors for us or for the next generation, right?
I'll just write you back in a second. So if anybody comes in, tell them to hold on.
I can't see anybody. I can't see nothing.
Give me a second.
All right. You're wearing your headphones as you walk away. I guess. I don't know. Well, hey, everybody. I'm just doing my thing. I don't know. Putting together a ghost box and sitting here by myself while Tim, or what's his name, Greg. Well, Greg goes to the bathroom or something. Yeah. Hope everybody, I can't see anybody's comments. I don't know any. I'm just gonna sit here and do my thing, I guess. But I'm working on some cool stuff. Here's something that I haven't shown to everybody yet, or I haven't really shown to anybody. But I'm working on it. So I got one of these Halloween skulls. That's mouth moves when it picks up motion. But I've also got a ghost box inside of it. And it's got a little speaker right here. Loud. So it'll be really cool when it's done. I think I had to order another circuit for the talking mouth. But once I get that, it'll be good. Oh, yeah. I wish I could see you guys' comments because I feel like I'm just talking right now. And I'm talking to myself. It's like if I was ghost hunting by myself. My battery box is a little too big here. There he is.
I had to see a man about a horse.
Yeah, that's what I told him, that you're probably going to the bathroom.
I apologize for that. I drank too much before we came on. But I don't know where Anthony should be coming in.
Anthony who?
Salavos, Tennessee.
Salavos.
He's from the Texas Wraith Hunters.
Hmm.
You've probably seen his podcast before.
And nothing to.
I
I don't watch anybody's podcast, to be honest with you.
You can see the screen, right?
Right. Anthony Sabalos. Hello, paranormal people. Hello. We are paranormal people, but we're not paranormal people. Like,
not peeps.
We're not paranormal. Like, we are not paranormal entities.
Entities.
Depending on which, I mean, I don't know. I guess we could be.
So.
We very well could be paranormal entities.
I wonder if Phil Wyatt's still around. And he said natural infrasound, maybe, when you guys were talking about it.
Wait till season 4 comes out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
Trust me, I've been touching on these. I've been touching them. I've been playing around with a lot of these ideas in season 4.
You know what?
And I know.
You know what he followed that up with? He says, "Yep, the man in the black suit is there."
Wait, what?
When he went ahead and he said that about the mass, or he said,
are you talking about the location? Wait, what? So he's talking about the He said the infrasound.
I think it was.
And then I'm assuming, does he know which location that I did the experiment
at? He's from Georgia.
He might. Oh, he's from Georgia? Oh, I don't know. I guess then I don't know. I figure maybe he did one of the reenactments or something. I don't know.
He says, as Rihanna says, she likes the skull, Austin.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it'll be really cool when it's done. I'm like I said, I'm waiting on the circuit for the talking mouth to move. But once I get that, yeah, so you were in the John when we showed that.
I heard you talking about it. But
yeah, so it's one of those I can't remember. I think we got it at like Marshall's or something. I can't remember. It's one of those Halloween decor things. And when it's a motion to activate
that's what I got. This is this is a candle.
Is a candle?
That came from out in Seattle.
Oh, okay.
When I was on the board.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I've gone by it probably maybe about 5 times now. And not bought it. And then it was like, you know what?
There's a reason. There's a reason you've been called to it or passed by it every time. Yeah. Right?
Linda Kruger's here too.
I don't know if I know Linda. Maybe I do. See, my problem is I meet so many people I don't. You know what I mean?
Linda's from Lake Villa, and she's with Danny Botts, and Danny Botts is an old friend of mine from like 35 years ago.
Oh wow! That's.
So that's now that machine right there that you're holding in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that one before.
You have?
And what are you calling it? You're not?
I'm not disclosing anything right now.
And, unless you're gonna have to come over and beat it out of me. Are they? As Rihanna says, are they hard to make? But she was talking about the skull.
The skull? I mean, see, it doesn't have to be, depending on like what you're trying to do. But like me and like guys like KD, like we don't want to do the simple, easy thing. You know what I mean? Like we want to make it complicated, I guess.
Yeah.
We have to go a little bit above and beyond just the normal. I'm not gonna do a REM pod out of a skull like that or anything, you know. Like I'm doing, like I'm trying to make a ghost box out of a skull, and like KD doesn't really mess around with like the different enclosure, like doing custom enclosures, and he does do them for certain people, I guess, but he doesn't like do like I try to make it almost like artisan in a way. Like I try to create something that's cool looking, aesthetic. So like I've made mystery machine ghost boxes. I've made ventriloquist dummy ghost boxes. I've done what else have I done, man? I've done the Ecto One ghost box car, or an Ecto One the Ghostbusters car. I've done a ghost box on that. An old telephone, the skull. It depends. For me, the enclosure is the most difficult part. Like if I like, because some people have some crazy requests with the enclosures that they want, so that they like want something like really like really complex, and it's like, man, all right. But so then it gets really hard, especially when you're trying to fit the circuitry into all of these little enclosures and trying to keep them together and make them look nice. That's the biggest challenge.
Wow. So you don't do any more trucks. Do you have children already?
Mm-mm.
No?
Nope.
So it's nice and quiet then. That's why you can go ahead and do that without burning your fingers off. You had kids running around in there, you'd be every 10 minutes you'd be hitting yourself with that iron somewhere. And
yeah, if I had kids here, then I wouldn't be working at home. I certainly would not work at home.
What do you think about the size of KD's building now? Holy crap.
Wait, the new one he just moved into? It's fairly small.
Is it?
Smaller than his other one. Yeah.
I saw it.
Definitely smaller than his other one. But his other one, the other one was kind of a messed up situation. That went down with the owner of the building or something. I don't know if he's told you about that or not, but
it was
so they had to move out of there and move to like an office, but like now their office is just one room, really. Like it's just one big room.
That's way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about having things in different locations, different rooms. You got it all right there in front.
Yeah. I mean, I have my workspace in my house, of course, but then I also have a workshop area out in the garage. But it's kind of rough out in the garage just because there is a lot of space, but it's not temperature controlled. So like I'm in there. It's either really hot in the summer or really cold in the winter, and there's no heat or AC inside my garage. So it's just like, I would rather not be out in the heat if I don't have to, like that, especially not all day.
I've got a big 4-star furnace out in my garage, but I got
I should get I should get like a something out there. Like I really want to get like a kerosene heater, like a nice one that's got a big tank, and because like I only got to heat a small area for the most part. And I mean, I wouldn't mind working out there if I had heat, but I also like working inside because like I'm right on the other side of my couch in the living room. So like, when my wife gets home from work or, or whatever, she's just right there on the other side of the couch. Like I can talk to her and everything still. So, I kind of like that, so I can still be around.
Tim
But if I had kids, if we had kids, it'd be a different story.
Yeah. Tim Lovejoy said pumpkin box you did for Halloween.
Oh yeah. What about it?
No, you just mentioned it.
Yeah, that one.
And it'd be fun.
Well, the pumpkin box I just recently did, that wasn't really for Halloween necessarily. It was just something that I had a customer, Pat Haberman. He wanted me to do a pumpkin pail thing for him, so yeah. That was one of the easier projects, I guess, but I made it a little more complex by like carving out a name, and I think it said like Jack Pumpkinhead on the back, and it was like lit up. It was kind of cool.
It's gotta be.
I mean, I feel like the only way, at least when it comes to ghost boxes, like really the biggest way that I could separate myself was by like aesthetically. I mean, I do have a different sweep circuit, and I see that like than other builders. Like Katie uses a like what is it, like a 3.
So it's a different
326 or something, and LM 326, and I use a 2206. There's different builders that use different, and I mean, it doesn't really necessarily mean anything if you are looking at it from an outside perspective, like, oh, it just creates a triangle waveform, right? Well, I mean, yeah, but there's more to it. We think a lot of it is like about like metaphysics in a way. Like, there's the energy transfer. There's a certain reason we use ours. And my reason is, honestly, it's because like nobody else was using it. Like Frank Sumption used it a couple of times in the past on a couple of boxes. But like nobody else was really messing with it. So I had to go that route. But the enclosures are really like the only thing that like really separates me, I guess, from others.
Well,
but I had to find that one thing, though.
Well, that's like your signature now, right?
What?
The frequency.
I mean, I don't know about the frequency
of the sweep. You guys are using different sweep rates, right?
No, the sweep rates. I mean, it's not always. I mean, the sweep rate is just the scan of the speed of how fast it scans back and forth, which really, like all boxes. No, typically, most boxes have the adjustable sweep now. But like, except for like KD's Nanocom or Microcom, those are random, I think. Yeah. But like adjustable sweep is almost standard. But like the difference, I guess, is just the way that the circuit works, the voltages, the capacitors, like all this stuff is different, and so it creates the waveform a different way. Although the end result is usually about the same, it's just a different path to get there, I guess. It's almost like if you have a split in the road, it goes 3 different ways, and you got 3 people with you, each go a different way. Like you're still getting to the same destination. Like it'll all just kind of lead, and you meet up again out in, after a journey or something, and like it's all the same destination. It's just a different path. But I think like the path is what makes it important, I guess. I think like the way that, I mean, it's not any better or worse than the other ones. It's just different, right? And I think that there's some importance to that.
Oh boy, he says he's trying to get in. I'm gonna have to send it again to him, see what happened. Why would he not be able to get in?
You got to send like, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, it's on StreamYard. It's different than live.
Yeah.
A little bit different than live. I will be right back.
Okay. Uh-oh. I think he's here. There you are. What was wrong with it? I don't know how many people we got left back in here. You know, if you're still here, you know, why don't you go ahead and just say hi below the last entry on the comments. This is just a continuation, and we've got Austin is here, Menard. I keep on saying, but where are you at? He disappeared again.
Were you live when I was doing all that?
Huh?
Were you live when I was doing all that?
You were doing all what?
When I was turning off the light and getting my hat on and everything?
Yeah, I was. I believe I'm live.
Oh my gosh, why do you do that to me?
I didn't end the stream. I just kept it up.
Well, I don't know.
You know, and maybe Becky Evans is still here. Barbara. Maybe some of you people, I don't have any of the, I don't know how to go ahead and get the forwards on without going ahead and using the emails. I don't know how to copy and paste. But the Wraith is here, but he's got a little logo up here, and this is Anthony. And he's from down in Texas. He'll be up in a minute. He has to make sure everything is just perfect.
Yeah,
right,
I got to get my makeup on and everything.
He's got to get then he's got to get rid of that towel they have around your neck, and so you don't get it any on your shirt or anything. It's not like you and me, Austin. We never worry about that kind of stuff.
Are you calling him a redneck?
What's with the Bears, for Christ's sake? What in heaven's name?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, you don't. God. At least you got different selections. You don't have to watch them.
Well, I don't watch any of the other shows or any of the other teams. I watch only the Bears. But I mean, I think that there's a solid core. I think Justin is the guy. I just don't know if Luke Getzey and Eberflus are the right coaching staff.
I call him Everflow.
See, Getzey, I think Getzey's way too damn conservative with his play calling. And but last week or against the the Lions. Like that was a defensive. Those were all defense. We had the game with 4 minutes left. We had it. All we had to do was just take time, let them stop. Just like try to slow them down and hold it off. But no, first play, they get it, touchdown, right? They throw that bomb and the guy's wide open, breakdown in defense. What the hell happened there? And then the second one, I mean, Darnell Wright, I think he will eventually be a good player, but man, he missed that one, didn't he? Justin got pummeled. But like, I guess you got to look at the coverage of the defense, and like, if you can't recognize that that's going to be a blitz like that, I mean, why? I guess that's part of the, like, I think offensive coordinators should be up in the box always. I think coordinators should be up in the box so that they can, you know what I mean, see the field, see what the defense formation is. Like, it's hard to tell when you're down there on the same, like, you know, on the same plane.
He's not,
but
he's not very big anyway, so he can't even see all the guys.
Right, like, Getsy's short, right? So, like, I mean, I don't think that he is able to see the coverages necessarily. I mean, I know he calls in the plays, but like, man, some of his play, he's so conservative, and it's like in the second half, and it just sucks. It just sucks, especially like fourth quarter. There's a reason we've had a couple of fourth quarter fall aparts, I guess is what you could call them, and it's because we get like Getsy gets conservative. It's like, dude, don't take your foot out. Don't run the ball 2 times up the middle back to back in the fourth quarter with like 3 minutes left and we're up a score. Like, don't do that. Like, go put your foot on the gas, man. It's just, I don't know. There's a lot of things that are wrong, and I think that I mean, not just that, the defense. They need to get a coordinator in there.
So
the coordinator.
Here he is. He's here now. Anthony.
Oh, okay.
I'm here now. What's up?
We going?
You know Austin?
Nope.
Austin and Maynard?
I've never watched any of his shows.
No.
I heard that part.
he's with Nick.
I don't know who Nick is.
Nick Roth. Roth.
Ghost Adventures.
I butcher words all night long. You don't watch any of those.
Yeah, I don't really care. I don't watch any of them either. I don't even watch Deathwalker half the time.
You got any ITC questions for Austin?
I'm trying to figure out if I've seen him before.
Yeah.
Looks familiar. Ghost Hunters, right?
Nope.
No.
I've had limited TV roles, really, dude. Like, I've been on Most Terrifying Places. I've been on Destination Fear twice. I've been on Paranormal Lockdown. I've been on now Deathwalker. On a number of other things, but like, I run 7 locations up here in Ohio. I do a lot of ITC work. I guess I'm getting out there more and more, but I would not be surprised if you did not know who I am, because I'm not.
I don't know who I am. Shoot, man, I don't know who I am half the time.
Man, that's how I feel sometimes too, though. Like, who the fuck? What? How did I get here? Like, where am I at?
How did I get on this live, man, half naked?
I don't know, but as Rihanna wanted to know the same thing. She says,
that is a very good question, actually.
We're live, Wraith Prince.
Well, yeah, but the one warned me.
Chris Carr, hey guys, have you experimented with shortwave radios? What are your thoughts?
Yep, 100%. I like shortwave, especially on the OG ink box, like Katie's original ink box, the big one.
Yeah,
like that one with shortwave is phenomenal. Like, it's phenomenal. But on other radios, it's not as phenomenal. It's hard, but I like shortwave just because of the lack of broadcasts, and so there's only like, there is a few things about it, because there's a lack of broadcast, you're only going to have one voice that comes in frequently, right? Like, throughout the whole scan, it's just going to be one voice because that's all that's being broadcast. But I think that the potential is there just because there's a lot of like we don't look into that. We don't look into shortwave all that much. We don't look into long wave all that much. Like people don't. That's what the kinds of things that I'm thinking about though. And like I've actually been working on. I do have a long wave radio that I connected to sweep circuit too. So I have used those before, but shortwave I like a lot.
So where do you get most of your boxes? Your
Me?
radio? Yeah.
From everybody. What do you mean?
You know
Like-
what I mean? The ones that you want to go ahead and work on and, update them and change them. And, like you take a regular straight radio sometime, right?
Yeah.
Then you get from somewhere.
Yeah. Usually like eBay or Amazon. I'll get the tuners. That's how most of us do it.
Okay.
I mean, because we can get the tuner because it's a transistor radio. It's a voltage controlled transistor radio, and they're the way that they started making them now. It makes it very easy to hack into it with a sweep circuit and control the voltage on it. But like it's so much easier now than it was like back in Frank's days, and like even 10 years ago, it wasn't this easy. But now it really is, and so like there's so much you can do with it, and so many different types of radios too. It's like it's awesome.
Yeah. Do you have another question, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm trying to share it because you don't have it, and you got your name frozen up there, Warren.
Who's the name?
Your
Mailbox.
Austin's name is.
no your chat.
Oh, that guy that's sitting there.
Yeah, it's frozen.
Warren.
Yeah, well, you didn't.
Oh,
I didn't know. You didn't give me time to.
Oh, I can see.
Oh, there it is. Hide it.
Yeah, there you go.
Or-
Okay, Austin Maynard, Underground Paranormal Network. Okay, see, we got to know these things. Nick Groff, Ghost Adventures, the first seasons. Yeah.
First, like Nick's the one that started Ghost Adventures. We should definitely make sure that people know that. Like Nick's the one that Nick actually put out a book too that people can read about how it all got started. Like how Nick found Zach. He was like a DJ at his friend's wedding out in Nevada because Nick was at the Las Vegas Film School, I think. And there's a whole bunch of information about it. But yeah.
There you go. I shared it. Okay. Yeah, you think you can give me his autograph?
Probably. I mean, like,
it
just be. Yeah. I have a lot of like all the ghost boxes that I build for him, and he uses on an episode. Like, I have him sign it, and then so like I probably got. Well, I've sold a bunch of them, but I have a few. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 left, I think. So like I have his autograph. I have too much of his autograph, I think. Like I gotta stop asking him, but like I know that it's gonna be worth someday, I guess. But
okay, cool. I just followed you.
all right.
Let's see your stuff. You don't got no friend requests on there though. Guess we can't be friends.
What? You can't add me as a friend?
It just says following.
Damn, I'm a following thing now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Damn, I didn't know that I was there.
Are you sure?
I guess I don't.
Yeah. You know me, Greg.
You're usually a lot better than I am.
Well, I mean, like the Facebook thing, like I didn't know that I didn't know that I had upgraded to like a page where instead of adding a friend, you could follow him. It's like I don't know how it gets to that point.
Oh, okay. Well, add friend. I went in there to the profile settings.
All right, there we go. I got you now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got.
I was gonna say like that's weird. It was.
Yeah, I sent you a friend request.
So what I need to know is Jay Prather. Did I pronounce that right?
JW. Don't forget the W.
JW.
JW Prather. Yep.
Is he like another secret wizard?
He's something like that, man. JW is he's out there. Like, and when I say out there, I mean like he is like his mind is like on another level of it's like on another train of thought that most of us don't want to go nearly as deep into, because it's just a rabbit hole that's like very, very complex, and there's a lot of math involved, and it's really like, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, he's teaching me about all of it, and you know, I helped him set it up once, and so like we did the experiment with Nick and Tessa for season 4, and like so shit, I forgot where I was going with that, but like I've seen it being put together. I've seen all what it entails all together to like get the experiment done from start to finish, and so I mean, it is amazing. And I guess the way that how he spent 14 years trying to put all this shit together, and I mean, it's wild, dude. He is kind of like an alien, man, because he's like fucking where the hell did this dude come from? It's crazy.
Yeah, I do have a question. I was having a really good conversation a while ago, and it's on frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever run across what we call portals in other dimensions while you're out there? Because I have a place that I go to. It's a forest, and it's got a pretty big following. Everybody knows I've been doing it for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And I've experienced a lot of things in there that took me beyond the paranormal, of just spirits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I've been trying to come up with is, because I did use a frequency generator to open one, and I have it on video during the daytime, and I think Greg's seen it. And but what I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to find a device or a meter that can tell me the frequencies of a place, and then duplicate that frequency of that place.
You're talking about like vibrational frequency or resonant frequency or what? Like,
yeah, like when you see the numbers of the frequency, you know what I mean? So I go to this place here, and it figures out the frequency of this place, the numbers, and then I can duplicate that again on another generator for that place.
I think I get what you're saying. But well, so the thing about a frequency, like, it's basically because everything across the electromagnetic spectrum, which is audio, it's video, it's radio frequencies, it's light, it's like literally everything that our universe is able to interact with. And like the frequencies are just how fast it goes up and down that wavelength. But it depends. So like when you say frequency, I mean, there's a number of different, what kind of, like, it could be like an audio frequency, a radio frequency, a vibrational frequency really is like, well, actually any of that is a vibrational frequency.
Yeah.
It's weird because the universe, everything in the universe has its own vibrational frequency or resonant frequency, which I think is kind of what you're looking at, is like, because like my resonant frequency and your resonant frequency and Greg's, it's all different. We all have our own resonant frequency. But I think that the biggest challenge is finding a way to measure a resonant frequency, because like we don't know exactly what that frequency would be.
Right.
I mean, like, we can look at EMF, we could look at, like, you know, all these different things, but like an EMF reading is it's standard for everybody. There's got to be, it's like, what frequency are we looking at, and what do we need to be detecting exactly? And that's the hard part.
Right.
Wouldn't you just have to record it?
Well, you got to get it first. That's what I mean. I need a device that can measure your frequency, his frequency, my frequency, the frequency of your room, your house, all this stuff like that, because everything's giving it off.
Okay.
The portal, the way I opened it was I used a 4400 hertz frequency.
So now, how do you know that you opened a portal exactly?
Because it opened and I videotaped it, and we all seen it.
But like what? And I mean,
and the portal
that's
not,
interesting.
and the portal is not. Let me explain this part. The portal is not that. From experiencing what we experienced there multiple times, crossing over gateways into another dimensional place.
Mhm.
In there, they don't look like I've explained before, like the way you see a Stargate in the movies. You know, you see with the lights and everything, and it opens up and the water comes out. This is different. Now, I believe that there may be some places like that. You know what I mean? The different places have different openings, and then maybe they show up in that sort of way in time and space. Now, this one here, it just opens up as a hole, and you can see it. You can see it in the video, how you can see it change, and then it opens up into a hole. And we can see it. I can see them with my own eyes. I just happen to find, I just know where these particular ones are in this forest. So this time when I went back, I played around with the frequencies before we went, and we kind of broke it down to 4,400 hertz. It's kind of loud because you can still hear it. You know, it'll drive the animals crazy because it did on the live people's houses. But you could see it that it started to open, and it was during the daytime, and I actually got to film it. And so as you get closer to it, sometimes it'll close, but you should start to walk back. So we're trying to see how the distance between it. And so what I'm trying to get at now is take it to the next level and have an instrument that can measure the frequency of a place, like you, me, the area that we're in. At least get close enough to maybe, and then duplicate it. So if I can get those numbers and duplicate it again through a generator, see what happens then.
I wish, and I mean, I definitely see where you're going. I wish that it was that easy, I guess. And I mean, I've had this thought too, because I've kind of like, what is this? Simulating conditions from another place, simulate or artificially creating these to try to match a similar like experience or I get what you're saying, but I think the hard part is that I don't think we have the technology yet. I don't think that we have the technology with regards to detecting, like I said, the resonant frequencies. And like, I mean, yeah, if you have 4,400 hertz, I think the next step would be to one, replicate it, and two, when you do replicate it, measure every possible thing that we know we can measure. Right, like we know we can measure EMF and static, and we can measure like you get a Geiger counter, which radiation. Right, you can get all these different instruments that detect every atmospheric measurement possible while you're running this experiment, and then you can actually have hard data. Right, hard data is the biggest thing that the paranormal field is missing. Right, that's where we like, and people want to talk about, and this is not a shot at anybody specific, but like when people bash content creators and bash all of that, but and I mean, I get it, but nobody in the field is coming with hard data, nobody is. Right, and people want to talk about the most embarrassing part of the field or things that are more detrimental to the field. Then like that's why we're not taken seriously, is because there's no hard data. So if you were able to pull off opening up a gateway at 4,400 hertz or 4,400, what did you say, 4,400 hertz, right? Yeah, right. Like, so if you're able to do this, then the next step definitely would be to replicate it and collect as much possible data as you can. And then you can come forward with that data, and that data could lead to further, like it could lead to funding, it could lead to all kinds of shit, like to where you could expand on it. But what's crazy is that when you talk about portals, is like that's a lot of what JW is doing. Like with this, like the Project Worldgate was what they conducted during the Conjuring House experiments. Right. I don't know if you guys have seen that thing yet or not, but they didn't give hardly any information on what the experiment entailed. But basically there's a number of steps to creating he calls it a world gate. but basically it's based on the document from the Monroe Institute and the practice called the Gateway Process.
Wow.
And it was declassified by the CIA. Oh shit, in like the 80s or the 90s. But there's like a lot of formulas and math involved, and like you need like all this information, like geographic location of the place, like how exactly the numbers of the dimensions and like height is, and like all the participants have to provide all of these really, like if you know the hospital that you were born at, then we need the geographical location of that hospital that you were born in. What's your age, what's your weight, what's your height, what's your like any information that any numbers, like you said, numbers that pertain to the participant themselves, like that goes into this math, and this math will determine where that person is positioned in the experiment. Like there's specific points that are important to specific locations, but we discovered math. We discovered it. We didn't invent it. Math was always there. Like the universe is binary, right? It's zeros and ones. Everything can be broken down that way. And so when we discovered math, I mean so like the math is so important is the point. And if the math works, like the math is very, I'm trying to think how to like say this. The math determines everything. Like the universe, like the reason things happen, everything is based on the math that we as humans really still like haven't fully figured out with everything. The universe is it's all frequencies, it's all numbers, it's all formulas. Like the golden ratio is one of the more intriguing numbers in the universe, right? But like we're using these frequencies, or all this information goes into this math, and it like basically these people are fed frequencies through soundproof headphones, and the whole idea is for them to actually travel somewhere. And during the experiment, they have things positioned. They have a catalyst experiment, which basically conditions the environment, getting it ready for the experiment. And this is like a combination of not just the Monroe Institute stuff, but like also ancient rituals and practices. Like native peoples used to use rhythm, drums. They would beat like that was a frequency.
Yeah, and
those were.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's my next one there, because I was getting a shamanic drum in this place because it's indigenous. It goes back 10,000 years. So I researched this for 2.5 years. Been there 15 times. I just was there last week. That week before, and got some awesome evidence out of it. But it was more paranormal than that part of it.
Right. But see, that's why I think that like those kinds of like the ancient peoples believed a lot of this stuff, but there's a reason that they believed a lot of this stuff, and there's a reason they did these things, and we don't know how they knew it, but somehow they knew it without any kind of, not like nobody taught them that. They figured that out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's a combination of like the Monroe Institute document and all this stuff, but imagine the movie Insidious, like when they go into the further,
right,
like where it's just all black, but there's like a lit up house over here, whatever. Like basically that's what JW is trying to do, is so that people can investigate on the other side.
That's what it's like in there. You do see them, and you do cross over, and I've been fortunate enough to now finally been able to take a couple of seasoned investigators that have started to experience the things that I've been talking about, because nobody goes in there because they're scared the crap out of them. But I do want to get a shamanic drum because of the beat of the frequency, because I know that's what they used to use also. Because it also has the symbols or the swirls of portals in there, which represents a portal. And it's kind of like that's through all this research I've done and experiencing that they're seeing it. And I just stumbled upon this place, and I just been kind of like doing a mad experiment, and I found the formula for penicillin. You know what I mean? Just by a glass broke and mixed with another chemical, and boom, that happened. So this has been
Yeah.
it's been kind of like that, because this is not something that I went in there intentionally to do. We went in there just as a whim, and before you know it, man, it turned into something else. And it's just that I've stuck with it, and now I'm so into it and trying these different experiments. Just like we use, like I'm pretty sure you heard this, when a spirit comes around, it is said that when a negative spirit comes out, it smells like sulfur. I'm pretty sure you run across something like that. You get these
I've heard
smells.
that. Yeah.
You get these smells, flowery smells. You know what I mean? When a certain spirit comes, or if it's, of course, they attribute being negative to sulfur, rotten eggs. Okay, so if they're picking this up, and it is a spirit that's coming in, because one, you're trying to, and if you're communicating with one, then you get this smell where you got two factors there now. So we can say, okay, this is what this is when it comes around. Well, on that same day, I think on that investigation, we use a air quality analyzer. And Greg saw that one,
Yeah,
where
that's pretty wild.
it shows the CO2. It shows like a number of stuff and numbers on there.
Like a gas detector, basically.
Yeah, but it's this
Yeah.
one's digital, and it shows you everything on there. And
Right.
I started to communicate with one of my guides, and as she was coming in, it started to spike, and it was picking up her smell. As people say, well, I smelled this, yes, but like you're saying, and that's what I'm trying to do in my investigations, is to have something that can measure that I can actually show you, and you can see it, that is measuring that. It's not just me telling you, well, I'm smelling it. Okay, well, I don't know that. You know what I mean? But when you got a device that's actually showing you that, and it did, it started to spike, and it started to show us the different numbers on it.
The numbers started to escalate. I mean, quite rapidly. The closer this thing got to where that meter was.
Yeah, and I was asking it to do it. I said, I asked it 3 times in a row. I mean, from 1 second to the next. Can you do it again? It spiked it up. The numbers went up. I said, can you do it one more time for me? Did it again, and can you validate that one more time for me? A third time, and boom, right there again, it spiked up again. And
that's cool.
So that was a smeller, as you say. You know what I mean? It's smelling not just CO2, it's smelling like, I forgot.
Yes.
Yeah, like
right.
It's got like 5 different readings that it's showing you, and that's on video. That's on video.
That was out. That was out in the open, though.
Yeah, it was out
so
in the open.
Figure that you're not in a confined area,
right?
Right.
How the hell does that work there?
And that was an experiment that we did that day for the first time. And so to me, it showed me that I am communicating with my spirit guide. Called her in. She comes in. She says, "I'm here. Can you do it again?" Yes, and it's doing it. And 3 times in a row. And I'm not talking about 5 hours later. I'm talking about just back to back as I'm asking. So I know that's what you're meaning by this, and it's very hard to get this frequency thing, because I know when I talk about it, and it kind of bugs me, because we're all paranormal and we're all seeing a bunch of crazy stuff. So who's to know this is not it? It's just not coming up the way people perceive it in their mind. They're going to see this flame open up in a circle like you see in the movies. It might, I don't know, but I do know that those portals, each one has a different frequency. They're not all the same.
It might turn you into a hot dog and a spit too. You never can't tell.
And they don't look the way in the movies do now. Maybe Skinwalker Ranch might be a whole different thing. You know what I mean?
Skinwalker is its own animal.
Yeah, maybe right there it does open up like that.
I gotta mention a few names, because we got like 4 minutes, and then we're gonna have to evacuate. You got Mary Ann Clark.
You brought me up for 4 minutes.
Ghost House.
It's the most interesting guy I've talked to in months.
Yeah, I understand, and he can probably come over to your page if you're going to go ahead. If we're going to go ahead and continue this, but I have to get off here. You got Joe.
Yeah, I do too. I've been on now for 2 hours, and
see, you don't wear them out.
Peter Cardoza and Linda Judd. Linda Judd had something interesting to say when she said the frequencies 440 hertz and 880 hertz both correspond to the musical note A, but 1 octave apart. So that's, I know she's got a lot of comments here, but
Yeah, that's who I was
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
to earlier. We had a really interesting conversation on this.
I do love the idea of the string theory too. So I mean that's moving right along those lines. That's my territory too. I do love the idea of string theory, and actually, like, like that when Buddhist monks, they meditate and they do that om sound, like that's supposed to be the frequency of the universe, and it's actually apparently I think it's the Solfeggio frequencies, right? Like when you put them all together, like it creates this om sound kind of sound.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be like when they're doing their meditation, they're connecting to the universe like that.
Right.
So I love that idea.
Yeah.
That's
Then I'm
the
gonna have to pick his
transporter.
brain some more, man. And you got 3 minutes left.
You got
God
3
damn it.
minutes. I can't. Well, you were like 20 minutes late.
Well, you don't tell me nothing.
I don't tell you what.
Well, I don't know what you were doing.
Let's just continue on your. Just open it up there, and then we'll just come over to you.
Well, we can schedule something, man.
He's tired.
We can schedule something, man. We can do it. We can do another night.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
I'll come on your podcast if you want.
He's gonna have to accept my friend request now. I'm gonna hunt him down.
I'll do that. I will. I'll accept it. Yeah, man. It's cool. I'm down to talk anytime.
If he comes on your show, then you have to be co-host. No, he doesn't like that idea. Greg, you don't know what the hell.
Well, because it's hard to find people that can understand what we're talking about.
Well, that's why Austin's here tonight.
Yeah, but he's gonna be gone, and then, what I'm saying is,
like I said,
this is where I'm at right now. I've reached this level now in this place that I'm testing these devices that nobody's using. You know what I mean? And on that one, man, like I said, that one still got results on it. I mean, and it is on video, and it is on YouTube and on my page.
Okay, we're gonna have to end it. Austin, thank you very much for everything. Everybody in the chat. We had Peter Cardoza was here, Linda Judd, Jim again, Feister, Chris Carr says good night, guys, and Adriana Trudel. So everybody, you guys all have a great night, and we'll see you all next week. And I'm going to end that. Good night, everybody.